she got mad and she would grab me right in the manhood. She had kicked me in the back down our concrete steps. Don't know what I was thinking.
This morning, we're shining our spotlight on the family of military mom and wife Ashley Henning after her husband was sentenced for her shooting death. Now, we have some new details about what the husband was allegedly doing behind closed doors. The judge sentencing Jordan Henning to 20 years in prison. That is the maximum allowable punishment for his manslaughter conviction. Henning also had to listen to a very powerful impact statement delivered by Ashley's cousin, John Williams, who exposed Henning's double life.
They came forward and revealed what you've been hiding, your double life. The life you live is based plan. You've been keeping your BDSM, cross-dressing, having sex with other men, alternative lifestyle in secret, and in the shadows. And now it comes into the light. When Ashley finally said she had enough, and he made sure she wouldn't say another word to another soul.
We reached out to Jordan Henning's attorneys about the new allegations, but we have not heard back. I want to welcome back on the program Ashley Henning's cousin, John Williams, who is also a member of our military. He's a chief warrant officer. John, we thank you for your service and thank you for coming back on the show to talk about your beautiful cousin. May I start with...
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. May I start with what it was like being in the room, being feet away from the guy who killed someone you love so much?
It took a lot of discipline to not physically go after him. But I know by doing something so reckless would only tarnish the name of the Williams family. So I did it for my grandmother, did it for Ashley, did it for Ashley's mother. So that's the only reason why I didn't do anything to him.
You've taken the high road and been such a great advocate for Ashley, and we know this is incredibly painful for you. It seemed that there was something perhaps very painful that you recognized happening during the process of the trial. When you were at the sentencing, you said that Jordan Henning sold the jury a lie. Tell us, please, John, what you mean by that.
Yes, ma'am. Shortly after the trial was over, there was an anonymous source that reached out to some friends of the family and informed us of several websites, some X-Hamster, FetLife, some Snapchat, sent us screenshots of all the activity that Mr. Henning, the extracurricular activity he was having while married to Ashley.
We at Court TV did some research to try to confirm that after we heard your statements in court. That was quite a wow moment. And from what we can see, it appears that this is, in fact, Jordan Henning. And we know that was left out of the case testimony. I'm curious, John, does this in any way go to motive for why he killed Ashley, in your opinion?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so. I believe there was a certain point in the video where Ashley said she'd had enough. She was kind of sick of all of Jordan's stuff. I know during his testimony, Ashley called and she was upset. I believe it was because she found out about these extracurricular activities that Jordan was taking part in. And when she finally said she had enough, I believe that played a huge factor in why he did what he did.
Wow, I mean, that's all I could think about when I heard this, John. You know, because to be very clear, nobody here is shaming him for his lifestyle choices, different strokes for different folks. However, this guy's a married man who killed his wife in the house when their kids were present. I thought the prosecution proved murder, and I was a prosecutor, but I wasn't on the jury. I know you feel the same way, John, watching the case so closely. I know it really stung that this was manslaughter and not murder by the jury's decision. I wonder if the prosecutors knew about this. Do you have any information that they knew that he was living a double life?
Yes, ma'am. And this is what's so frustrating about this entire situation. This anonymous source revealed that they came forward to the Harlan County Sheriff's Department and tried to release this information shortly after the incident. That individual was turned away, and I believe the police said that this wasn't it wasn't relevant to the case. I believe the prosecution heavily relied on the video evidence. I believe that with everyone who's seen this video can come to the same conclusion that it was murder. I just don't understand how the jury came to the conclusion. I don't understand why the prosecution, really the detectives didn't turn this information over to the prosecution, and why the prosecution didn't present this. They did a lot of work. The defense did a lot of work of trying to tarnish Ashley's reputation and make her out to be the bad guy, but they did. I don't believe the prosecution put somebody on the stand that spoke to Ashley's character to rebut all the things that Mr. Henning said.
Sure. You know, and if the prosecution knew about this and could have used it to prove murder and didn't, that just raises a lot of questions. Especially when he got on the stand and said that he was being abused. And we know that was something very upsetting to you. And for anybody who didn't see your first interview with us, John, did you ever see one bit of evidence that showed that Ashley ever abused him?
No, ma'am. Ashley was a gentle giant, the most caring, the most loving, the most compassionate. She, as you can even see in the video, she was more willing to disengage and walk away multiple times, to disengage from any kind of argument, any kind of confrontation. That's Ashley. And for those kind of allegations to be lobbied rooted without any evidence, that it was very frustrating to sit and listen to.
Right. No, I'm sure. What a beautiful lady. I know a wonderful mother and a very successful member of our military, posthumously promoted to Master Sergeant. And one last question for you, please, John, before we let you go. We know that 20 years is the sentence, and apparently there's a law on the books in the state that provides for some type of domestic violence exemption that if his defense team is successful in substantiating this for him, he could possibly be released in 10 years. What do you think about that?
That's, when I heard that, that was a punch in the stomach. It was further disrespect. It was further anguish. I think about the kids. You know, in 10 years, you know, Carter will be graduating or enrolled in college. They'll be in their early 20s. And to live with that monster back out on the street, like, how is that right? I don't understand the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I don't understand the process. I don't understand how somebody can't get involved and right this wrong. It's extremely frustrating and disappointing to be let down like this.
No, it sure is. And it's really tough, you know, when some things are out of our control, the laws on the books and all of that. But you and your family have done a tremendous job supporting those children and getting them through this and doing everything that is within your control. And you advocating for your cousin, I know, means the world to everybody. Chief Warrant Officer John Williams, thank you so much for coming back on the program. We are not going to forget about your beautiful cousin, Ashley Henning. Take good care.
Thank you for having me.